And I'm just like, what? Because I was there from 2020 to 2022. I've seen Sheridan in church. Like, I'll give her a hug every time I see her. Like, she's a homie, she's cool. I didn't know these niggas had a whole relationship. I'm over here defending you left and right over this Gigi situation. And this whole time, 2 years before that, you had an intimate relationship with this woman too. Sheridan video drops. I'm like, whoa. That same afternoon, my friend. What's up, y'all? I want to start by saying this is not an attempt to start a smear campaign. I just recently disconnected myself from Lovy Elias of Revelation Church. Due to the severity of recent events and events to come, I don't want my exit to be left up to speculation. I am no longer going there, and here's why. For those who don't know me, my name is Wes Tart, and I'm one of the OGs from the house that Revelation started at. I considered Lovy one of my best friends and my older brother. He called me his little brother, for those who know me. My mom would call him his son. He would call her mom. So we were like this. So this was why this sucks, really. When I moved out to LA in 2012, I moved with two of my best friends. I met up with JD here. JD had already moved here. JD was his personal photographer. I'll get back to that later. We were all in the music industry. We came out to LA to pursue music, of course, as a lot of people do, or acting, or some form of entertainment, right? Upon going to a music shop, they met Lovy. They found out that he was Christian as well, and that he hosted a Bible study at his house. So of course they came back to me and said, hey, this music producer also has Bible study at the house. Like, so in our minds, we're like, okay, cool. We want to be in the industry with God-fearing people. I went to the house a few times, but I was always reluctant to go, but they kept going. Right. Fast forward to 2016. We are all good friends now. I actually worked with Maggie at a call center at the time. This is 2016. But Lovy and I bonded more than everyone else because not only was he in music, but he was also a huge fan of MMA. And because he was a huge fan of MMA, we'd watch all the UFC fights together. He actually took me to my home Muay Thai gym now, which is Saxon's Academy. I have to tell y'all the beginning, the genesis, to get to where I land and why everything transpired the way it did. Maggie at the time, they weren't together, but the church, I believe, on Victory started in 2016. So we were all going every Thursday. And then I believe Sunday service started there. Oh, no, it started at the new building. Maggie and Lovy weren't dating yet. I believe she was a photographer at the time. I was always like coming in late and just, sitting in the front. I wasn't really in the church business. Mind you, our friendship was more so fighting in music. When I was at church, it'd be studio or service, or like helping him set up the studio or dismantle some stuff, or he'd mix my songs or master the songs. Or I'm gonna fast forward. I'm just giving the genesis. So fast forward to 2020, COVID happens, everything shuts down. Him and Maggie are now dating, and he's doing lives at his house, the Campo house. Yeah, I don't know if y'all remember. If for those who were there back then, I was notoriously known for dropping $3,000 in all hundreds for the church fund for the new building that is now Revelation Church. I don't know if y'all remember. I was like, at all hundreds, like with the $100 bills. So like I said, at the time, him and Maggie were together, and I didn't know of any current relationship or any prior relationship to them other than Ida, his ex-wife. Ida and then Maggie. And then Maggie was, the pretty much Andrew's mom. Like, she was so loving, caring, and was taking care of Andrew like her own. And that's one thing he told me about her. He said, Wes, you gotta get you a girl who, if you leave the world, you can trust her with your babies, your son. And that's who Maggie was for him. So fast forward 2022, we did our first fight tournament together. After that, we became like this. I was sitting front row at the church. The whole church had to fast. I didn't have to fast. I was with the prophet. The rules didn't apply to me. Like, the food was already blessed. I didn't have to pray over it. 2022, I can't remember what the month was. I'm sorry, I don't have like receipts like Sheridan did, which I just found out about her last month, which is crazy because I was in the mix the whole time. Anyway, we're at the Roadrunner. He's getting more workout equipment, like shoes, shorts. He got me new shoes, dope, shorts. He's on FaceTime with this girl. At the time, I didn't think nothing of it because he runs a ministry. He's on the phone all the time. Anyway, he hands me the phone because he's trying on shoes. I go, hey, what's your name? Gigi Rodriguez? And I was like, Rodriguez? Dang, we gotta watch out for you. Like, you know what they say about Spanish girls, like, y'all are crazy or whatever. So I hand him the phone back and he's like, yeah, she bad, right? Like, she look good. And I was like, yeah, but she's Spanish, bro. You gotta watch out for them. They're kind of crazy. Just joking. That was my one and only interaction with Gigi, right? Now, fast forward to end of 2024, top of this year, EJ comes out, but then March comes around and Gigi comes out with her video exposing that, they dated and she had the receipts and stuff. And I'm just like, he stopped messing with her. But then throughout December and February, I was noticing key members leaving the church. And I'm just like, really, y'all? Cause of a mistake that he did? Yeah, he it happens. The first one to go was my boy JD. He was his personal photographer. Lovy had called me actually and said, hey, JD left? I was like, what? Because JD's from the OG, from the house. So then, boom, JD's gone. And now Mike Dupree, I've known Mike for a decade. So when Mike left, I was like, I know he didn't leave because of Gigi, right? Because it's humans make mistakes. That's what I'm thinking. I'm on the phone with Lovy and he's like, people ain't loyal. And now I'm getting mad because I'm like, after everything he done for this man, and I'm sorry, Mike, because obviously I'm only hearing one side of the story. I'm on the phone with Lovy crying because of how mad I am at how unloyal people are because of one mistake. That's how serious it was. Mike this, and then Mike had made a post that was kind of very like I respect you, but I have to leave. But throwing subliminals in there, which got me even more mad because I'm like, I was just drinking the juice, right? So then boom, Mike Dupree leaves. Mike is gone, JD is gone over Gigi. And after everything that this man has done, one blemish shouldn't make y'all abandon ship. Remember, I came out here with two best friends. They're the two that brought me to the house. Lovy calls me and says, yeah, did you know your best friend unfollowed me? So in my head, I'm making up excuses. I'm like, this Gigi thing is really affecting the congregation, even the day ones, over this. And I don't mean to make it small. And Gigi, I apologize. I'm not trying to make your situation minor, but I'm talking about guys who have been there literally 10 years before you were even around. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to belittle your situation at all. I'm not trying to disrespect it. But these are guys that were there at the house. You get what I'm saying? And now he left. So I'm like, and this is happening between March and May. So in between Gigi's video up until when I left, May 21st, right? But then, so now because he said he unfollowed him, now I'm checking his followers and following to see if my other best friend still followed him, right? So I was like, okay, so he still follows. Because my other best friend, he had hit him on some, hey, I'm trying to, get my business in order. I won't be around as much. And I was like, I get it, because I was on the phone with him trying to help him, set up business. How can I help you? How can you help me? Kind of thing. So when I saw that they were still following each other, I was like, okay, there's no bad blood. Every time we would get on the phone, Lovy and I, he would always ask about that best friend. And every time we got on, and I was just like, why? You really care about this guy. Why don't you just, call him and ask him how he's doing? Because y'all were not as close as we were, but y'all are close enough to call each other and talk, right? So everything is fine, He's calling me saying, things are starting to go back up. The Gigi stuff's starting to blow over. I'm still kind of like, something ain't right about these guys leaving. One day I woke up, it was 2 a.m. I had the craziest unction to pray, like never before. I woke my girl up, my fiance up. Sorry, Mo. I woke my fiance up, and I was just like, we gotta pray right now. Mind you, I have never done this. I could count on one hand the amount of times I've prayed with her. One, because I'm closest to the prophet. I don't have to pray if I've already prayed for something. You know what I'm saying? 5 minutes, it was just just for elevation and just, last year being broke, and because that's another thing. I'll get to that later. But last year being broke, for doors to open and all that stuff, and just for anything that's holding us back to remove itself, right? A video comes out with this white lady. I think her name is Katie, and she's crying about how Passion had and how he did the same thing to Trinity, right? Now, for those who don't know, I know Trinity and her mom. We're locked into. I engineered her first song when she was 15, turning 16. This was in 2022. And we released it under my label too, Tart Empire. I've always had, like, my instincts have never failed me. And I can confidently say that now. I have red flags that come up or my instincts pop up and I'm like, something's not right. But because I'm not spiritually at the level that they were at, I will dull my instincts and say, no, I just don't understand, or I'm just not there spiritually to understand. So I've always had my reservations about passion, right? Even from day one, I was like, I don't get how you and him are like two peas in a pod, right? I just don't get it. Like you ride hard for this man, right? And God, I disconnect myself from anything that was connected to passion too. I'm a huge pattern recognition person, right? So every time passion would come to Great Grace in Miami or Revelation, he was always prophesying over the members of the congregation. Always. Every time he came, he'd prophesy over, I can't remember her name at Great Grace. Then he'd come over to Revelation. He'd prophesy over Bree Catrice. He'd prophesy over Isaac. He'd prophesy over Lena. And then he prophesied over Trinity. 2023, he said that she would make $10 million. Everyone, ooh, yay! After that, nowhere to be found. Here I said I would go to Miami with EJ just to train Muay Thai with him, or like just to make music. I saw Patrice and Trinity pull up with Passion. They had just flew in from Maryland, and I was just like, why are y'all with him? Y'all a Revelation fan. Why are y'all with him? And already I was just like, ding, red flag. It's like instincts going off, but I'm just like, I don't understand spiritually because I'm not there yet, right? Fast forward. So that video of that lady came out, I think her name's Katie. I apologize if that's it. And she's like bawling, talking about how, this happened to Trinity. And I was just like, God, if this is true, I pray that it's not, because if that is true, then the man, my best friend, my brother, who was supposed to protect her, didn't, right? From his spiritual father. So I literally sat in my room in the dark for like 2 to 3 days. We're at church, after service, Lovy says, like, he's pointing to me, like, I'm second row. He's like, yo, come upstairs, I want to play you some new music. I'm like, cool. So then we go upstairs, we listen to some music. It's like 10 people there, 12, me, my fiance, the baby, Trinity, Patrice, and like a whole bunch of other people. We're listening to music, and I'm just like, okay, this is hard. And then music stops, and then he starts talking about EJ again, like, yeah, EJ this, EJ that. He even said that I slept with Trinity. He goes, Trinity, did I ever do anything to you? And she goes, no. And then, Patrice doubled down and said, no, never. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so EJ really is public enemy number one. Like, he's really making these people cry on the internet and lie on his name, right? But it was still red flag number one, because it wasn't about Lovy doing it. It was about Passion doing it. He made a joke saying, if Gigi was smart, she would have just taken the NDA, she would have just signed an NDA, taken some money and be quiet. And me being the loyal friend I was like, yeah, man, just toss her a few million. And he goes, not that much. But that was our relationship. So then, Gigi again, I apologize. But then he kicks everyone out the room, but tells Patrice and Trinity to stay. At the time, I didn't think anything of it because I'm hungry, I'm ready to go. But Mo taps me and she goes, hey, did you notice that? I was like, notice what? Because I'm hungry, I'm trying to leave. Did you notice that he kicked everybody in the room except Trinity and Patrice? Then the Sheridan video drops. The Sheridan video drops and I'm just like, what? Because I was there from 2020 to 2022. I've seen Sheridan in church. Like, I'll give her a hug every time I see her. Like, she's the homie, she's cool. I didn't know these niggas had a whole relationship. I'm over here defending you left and right over this Gigi situation. And this whole time, 2 years before that, you had an intimate relationship with this woman too. Sheridan video drops. I'm like, whoa. That same afternoon, my friend, he calls me. He goes, Wes, I got to tell you something. I'm like, what's up? He says, how much time you got? And he goes, how much time you got? I was like, oh, I got time because this is my thinking time, right? At this time that he talked to me, he left. Like, I'm not going through Lovy's followers every day to see who's still following him, right? At this point in time, he left. When he called me, he said, look, I've been afraid to talk to you or tell you, but I've had, like, my reservation since December, and our other best friend had left. Like, we've been afraid to talk to you and tell you because you're so close to Lovy. Like, every time we've been wanting to tell you, you'll post on your story, love you forever. He'll post you on a story, love you forever, happy birthday. Mind you, this is happening between March and May. So he lays it out for me, right? And at that moment, I realized that when Lovy would call me asking about him, it was to find out if he had told me what he knew already. Because this whole time he had been asking about him. And I'm thinking, why don't you just check on him? Because yeah, we're best friends, but y'all are really close too, like close enough to pick up the phone and call. If you're gonna keep asking me every time we get on the phone how he's doing, how's he doing? So I'm just like, so that's why he kept asking about you, cause he knew that you knew this, and you hadn't told me yet. And when I tell you, it was the grimiest, God forgive my language, I had ever found out that a friend could do to both of them. You did some grimy stuff to two of my best friends. It affected them greatly, and for legal reasons, I can't even talk about it. Now, if they decide to come on and talk about it, great. And then, for me, now I say for me, what I found out then was Trinity got confirmed for me. It was enough for me to say, okay, this really happened. And that's when I just said, because what you're not gonna do is defend a man who does that, one, and two, play with my loyalty. What my friend also told me was that people were experiencing severe dryness in their life, right? Severe dryness. And I was just like, whoa. My friend who left, when they finally got me on the phone, when they finally were able to talk to me, he goes, bro, I was so dry, it was embarrassing. Like, I'm talking about I had to ask my mom for money. I was like, wait a minute. And then homie was saying the same thing. I was like, wait a minute. They dried up song in the background. They dried up song in the background. I guess I'm drying up song in the background. Must be a coincidence, right? I got told everything May 19th. May 20th, another friend hits me up saying, hey, can you please, he knows how close I am with Lovy. He said, can you please nudge Lovy for me? I sent him details of this dream. Immediately I went to, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I got you. But I was like, oh, wait. There are some things happening that require me to distance myself from the ministry for a bit. Without getting too much into it, I would advise you not to seek spiritual advice from him at this moment. Guess what was happening to him? He said he was drying up so bad that it was scaring him after he had such a successful year the year before. After I sent that message, he ain't dry no more. Do with that information what you will. I just know a lot of people that have been there. They've just been dry. And it was embarrassing for me because people would be like, how are you so close? And, oh, I'm broke. Yeah, that I'm house sitting a multi-million-dollar house, but I come home to an apartment that barely has the elevator working for years. God's timing, right? Fast-talking car salesman. He really came from Africa, smacked us over the head, and made some millions.